sat down with my dear friend Heather Moore on Good Evening Arizona as I kind of go back about my journey and talk about what it's been like to fight breast cancer.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Suzanne Bissett. That's amazing. Oh, my gosh. This is my jam. And boy, did I pick a good day to stop my juice cleanse.
She is the bubbly blonde with the infectious laugh who shows us how to live our best life on Your Life, Arizona.
Cheers, ladies.
Suzanne Bissett has been a part of Arizona's family for 21 years.
It's been kind of a fairy tale of a career. I've loved every single moment of it and every single level of it.
Like in many fairy tales, there's a twist and a chapter no one saw coming.
And there's been days where I haven't had a lot of hope, and I've had some really dark days.
It started with a phone call.
And it was Friday the 13th of March, the day the world kind of closed down.
Suzanne learned she had 6 tumors and an aggressive form of breast cancer called triple positive. She was stage 3 and needed surgery right away.
It left me breathless. You know, it was something that was very surreal. I was like, are you sure?
A genetic test 6 years before showed she didn't have the BRCA gene. Breast cancer wasn't even on her radar.
I was feeling great. I was doing hot yoga 3 times a week. I was exercising. I had never felt better. So to get a diagnosis like this, it really was just a punch in the gut.
Thoughts of her family immediately took over.
My girls. They're 11 and 12. And I can't imagine them growing up without a mom. And so that was the first question I asked my breast surgeon. Am I going to see my girls grow up? Am I going to see them get married? Am I going to see them have kids? They're too young to lose a mother. They need their mom.
And she says it was them, Layla, Georgia, and her husband, Van, who gave her the strength she needed to fight.
Every single day, you wake up and you take the day on because you want to be there for your kids. And that's what keeps me going.
She says dealing with cancer during a pandemic turned out to be a blessing.
The world outside this house wasn't going on. And the fact that they were home and they were online school, they were with me.
Even by her side as special assistants on her show. Their roles at times reversed.
Layla will tuck me in at night. She'd bring me water with ice. Here you go, Mom. Georgia would, Mom, are you hungry? I can make you something. As my husband said, this isn't my diagnosis, it's our diagnosis.
Months of intense chemo and radiation dragged on, taking its toll on her body and her mind.
You know, I woke up every morning crying because I thought I was having a nightmare. And then I realized this is my new reality. And so I can't live like that. And so I just saw the light at the end of the tunnel and went straight for the light.
She gives a lot of credit to the support she received from loved ones and her team of doctors at Ironwood Cancer Center. But even with the best of care, Sue said it didn't have to come to this.
I did miss that year of my mammogram. It has reached my lymph nodes. Therefore, I had to do 6 rounds of chemo, 28 consecutive days of radiation. It's been hell. And I don't want any other woman to go through that.
Her message, women must put their health first.
No one can do it for you. You got to make that appointment. You got to go. It's an hour out of your day, but it can add decades onto your life.
With treatment finally behind her, she is turning the page on the toughest time in her life.
And I've never gotten so many compliments about my hair, and it's a wig.
And she is looking forward to her next chapter, where she is passionate about a plot that involves using her powers for good.
That, to me, is like icing on the cake. If there's anything that can come from this, I want women to save their own lives, and they have to. You have to save your own life. Some 2 million women around the world are affected by breast cancer each year. Today, we're speaking with Dr. Sumit Mendoza and Dr. Emily Ho with Ironwood Cancer and Research Centers. Dr. Mendoza, can you tell us how common breast cancer is and what's the U.S. incidence of breast cancer?
Thank you for having us, Suzanne, to talk about this very important subject. Why is it important to increase awareness of this particular malignancy? Breast cancer is the leading cause of cancer death in women worldwide. Globally, it accounts for over 2 million cases each year. In the United States, it's the leading cause of female cancer, accounting for over 260,000 cases in a year with over 40,000 deaths. Over the last few decades, there has been a decrease in the death rates associated with breast cancer. And that is because of increased awareness, increased screening, and treatment. Therapy helps to save lives when breast cancer is detected early.
Dr. Ho, what are the screening guidelines and what's your advice to women, especially during this pandemic?
Sure. So we still recommend screening, annual screening mammograms starting at age 40. So once a year is all you need. Especially this year, a lot of women have either opted themselves or have been asked to postpone their mammograms. Most of the imaging centers are now open. With safety precautions in place, so we definitely encourage women to make sure that they schedule for their 2020 mammogram this year. We know that early detection saves lives, so it's really important.
What happens if one has an abnormal mammogram or finds a breast mass on a self-exam?
So with abnormal mammograms, of course, that always sounds really scary. What that usually means is just that that there was something new found on your imaging that wasn't seen last year, or it might be an area that they were following that looks a little bit different this year. Usually all it starts off with is additional mammogram views, usually magnification views. Sometimes you might be called in for ultrasound exams as well. And depending on what they see, certainly if it doesn't persist, then you'll be recommended to resume annual mammograms. And if it does look a little more suspicious, you might be either recommended to have a 6-month follow-up rather than waiting a full year, or they might even recommend a biopsy. As far as self-breast exams, we do recommend self-breast exams in between your annual mammograms. So once a month is all you need. Usually we recommend starting in the shower with a visual exam, and then you want to examine your breast both with light and deep touch, so you're getting all of the breast tissue. There's different techniques that you can use, and then a common follow-up question is, what am I looking for? So there's a nice campaign called Know Your Lemons that kind of has a visual of, different skin changes, either skin thickening, redness, and certainly lumps and bumps that might be concerning that you should bring to the attention of your healthcare provider.
What are the various treatments for management of breast cancer that women need to be aware of?
Breast cancer management really, it's really two mainstays of treatment, and it really does depend on the type of breast cancer you have. So not all breast cancer is the same. Some are more aggressive than others. So the two mainstays of treatments that I mentioned are local therapy, which treats both the breast and the axilla, and then there's also systemic treatment or whole body treatment that usually involves medications. With local therapy, that's usually where I come in as a surgeon. Usually the options are either breast conservation or lumpectomy followed by radiation, or mastectomy, which is removing all of the breast tissue.
Do all patients require chemotherapy? The answer is no. The key point to remember is to have a comprehensive, strong breast cancer team on your side. Breast cancer management requires a multidisciplinary approach, and we can provide that for you here at Ironwood.
Thank you both for all your advice and helpful insight. There are 10 Ironwood Cancer and Research Centers throughout the valley. For more information, visit ironwoodcrc.com or call the number you see on your screen.